Would you believe that a film many people expected to be a niche experiment is now being mentioned in the same breath as Frozen and Encanto? Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters, which premiered on June 20th, 2025, has become not only the streamer's most watched film ever, but also one of the most unlikely global pop culture stories of the year. What began as an animated fantasy about a girl group slaying demons has evolved into something bigger, a franchise in the making, a soundtrack phenomenon, and a serious awards contender. Tonight, we look forward. Oscars, sequels, and the live action rumor at where K pop Demon Hunters goes next, and why the conversation keeps getting louder. At the center of this story is a deceptively simple idea told with precision. Hunter X, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe are idols by day and demon hunters by night. When a demon king unleashes a rival boy band to siphon the souls of their fandom, the girls fight back with the only force strong enough to beat fear, music, friendship, and the devotion of the fans who believe in them. That premise alone drew attention, but what pushed the film over the top was its emotional honesty and cultural specificity. Viewers didn't just watch a flashy animated concert reel, they saw a story about identity, community, and the power of being seen. Within 10 weeks, K-pop Demon Hunters had climbed to Netflix's all-time #1 spot, and its soundtrack began rewriting expectations for an animated release. Hunter X achieved what no girl group had done since Destiny's Child. Hit #1 on the Hot 100 with the anthem Golden, multiple tracks. Your Idol, Soda Pop, and others cracked the top 10 together. The first time a movie placed 3 songs in the top 10 simultaneously since the mid-90s. For casual viewers, it was a fun surprise. For fans, it was a validation. A fictional universe crafted with the same craft and quality as the real industry it celebrates. That momentum brings us to the first big question. Awards. Could K-pop Demon Hunters take home Oscar gold? Netflix certainly believes it has the ingredients. The streamer is backing a full awards push with Golden submitted for Best Original Song, while the film positions itself for Best Animated Feature and Craft categories. The case is compelling. Golden is more than a catchy hook. It's an earworm with an engine. Its lyrical arc mirrors the arc of the film, a pop manifesto about claiming your voice. Add to that the soundtrack's unprecedented dominance and the film's global reach, and you have the rare alignment the Academy notices: critical buzz, cultural relevance, and undeniable audience love. Netflix has chased an animated win for years. With this title, they finally have a credible shot. Awards attention thrives on narrative, and this movie's story outside the screen is strong. Step 1, surprise hit. Step 2, sustained visibility. Months in the global top 10, nonstop social chatter, cosplay, and fan edits at scale, and a successful sing-along theatrical event that turned movie theaters into K-pop mini arenas. Step 3, the can they go all the way phase, where fans and trades alike watch to see if momentum survives the long runway to the Academy's ballot. If the music keeps charting and the conversation stays loud into winter, K-pop Demon Hunters will walk into nomination morning as more than a dark horse. But awards are only part of the future. The second big chapter is expansion. On the same day Netflix confirmed the movie's historic performance, reports surfaced that the streamer and Sony Pictures Animation were already in active talks for a sequel. Nothing is officially dated, but insiders describe the franchise planning in unmistakable terms. Think multi-installment arc, not one and done. The directors have hinted there are a lot of pockets we can explore. Backstories for the Saja boys, deeper corners of Korean mythology, rival hunter squads in other cities, even short-form stories that follow the girls between comebacks. Translation: a real universe is being mapped out, and it's designed to support both feature sequels and bite-sized content that keeps the fandom engaged between films. If you're wondering when a second film could arrive, the realistic timeline for animation points to the later part of the decade. That said, studios often bridge long gaps with companion content, Expect the kind of connective tissue audiences now recognize: a sing-along short, an animated special that tees up a new villain, perhaps even a limited series focused on training or tour life. In parallel, Netflix appears to be investing in the brand beyond the screen. Merch waves are already rolling out, partnerships with consumer brands are popping up, and the talk of a stage musical has shifted from fun idea to serious discussion. This is what franchise building looks like in the streaming era. Keep the heartbeat steady with new music drops, strategic tie-ins, and eventized fan moments while the next feature is crafted. The third topic, the one that caught fire the fastest, is the live-action rumor. In the afterglow of the film's rapid ascent, chatter began that Netflix was exploring a live-action adaptation, perhaps as a K-drama style series or a live-action film. Fancasts flooded socials within hours. You could almost see a version in your head. Seoul at golden hour, stadium crowds, wirework demon battles, idols and embellished hanbok on a real stage. And yet, as quickly as excitement grew, pushback followed. Fans worried the specific magic of the animation, its rhythm, its bold design choices, its ability to stage fights like music videos would be hard to preserve in a live-action frame. Within days, reports clarified that live action is not currently in discussion, with focus returning to the animated roadmap. If history is any guide, that door isn't locked forever. It's simply not the next door they plan to open. For now, the decisive move is to double down on what made this a phenomenon in the first place. Why did this movie leap from sleeper to juggernaut so quickly? Partly because it speaks two fluent languages at once. On one side, it's a muscular piece of mainstream animation, clean arcs, big spectacle, memorable songs. On the other, it's culturally specific in a way that invites you closer the more you recognize folklore symbols tucked into frames, performance language borrowed from real idol stages, industry beats that feel lived in rather than guessed. That dual fluency created an unusually wide halo. Kids watch for the color and the hooks. Teens and 20-somethings watch for the references and the feels. Parents watch because it makes their kids sing, and because the themes, doubt, solidarity, found family, land regardless of age. When a film plays in all three lanes, it doesn't slow down. It compounds. The virality had a similar two-track engine. The soundtrack's ascent gave casual viewers a reason to click play. The online detective work gave fans a reason to click replay. As breakdowns spread, producer credits, visual motifs, cultural nods, the film gained rewatch value, and rewatch value is the secret fuel behind both algorithmic longevity and awards. The more people re-engaged, the louder the conversation became, and the more credible the film looked as something that could move from trending now to canon later. If you zoom out, the long-term legacy of K-pop Demon Hunters won't be measured only in streams or trophies. It will be measured in the doors it opens. The film proved that K-pop and Korean storytelling can anchor a globally dominant animated title without sanding off its specificity. It proved that a fictional idol group can feel emotionally real enough to carry a soundtrack in the real charts, and that audiences are hungry for stories that blend pop spectacle with mythic stakes. It also gave studios a blueprint for how to seed a franchise, invest in songs that can live outside the film, cultivate fan participation, and build a world with enough nooks and crannies to explore for years. So what comes next? In the near term, watch the awards season calendar. If Golden keeps its grip on radio and playlists, and if the film maintains its cultural footprint, you'll see it on the short list for song and likely in the final lineup for animated feature. Watch for a short-form drop, a sing-along, a holiday-timed special, a teaser for a new antagonist that buys time while the sequel pipeline warms up. Watch the consumer side. New merchandise waves, global pop-up events, maybe even an interactive fan experience built around the music. And keep one eye on the live-action conversation. If the creative team can solve the style problem, how to keep the music video momentum and design punch in a photographed world, the clamor to see Hunter X in a K-drama frame will return. For now, the most important truth is the simplest. K-pop Demon Hunters isn't finished, it's beginning. Whether it ends up on an Oscar stage, announces a sequel date, or reignites the live-action debate, this story has legs because fans put it on their shoulders, and they're still carrying it. That's the kind of momentum that turns a hit into a moment, and a moment into a movement. Which future excites you most right now? The chance of Oscar gold for Golden, the promise of a sequel that dives deeper into this world, or the possibility of a live-action reimagining that brings these characters to life on real stages? Tell us in the comments which path you're rooting for and what you'd change if you could steer the next chapter. If you want the fastest deep dives on K-pop and K-drama moments that matter, join us here at Hallyu Orbit so you never miss the next chapter.